Welcome, fans, and you watching at home. Legion Pro Wrestling, and welcome to Legion Pro Wrestling. And tonight my company begins with Jeff has given me some belts to play with. The Global Force Wrestling title. Tonight every match is a first round match to crown our first champion. And we will continue on our weekly hour shows. Tonight we have a special guest from Smash and WAW. We got UK and American stars permanently contracted. Tonight is going to be the start of the Legion. And will you join? So, welcome to Legion Pro Wrestling, our local to global series. It's 92 people tonight in the tri-state USA. I debuted my weirdo gimmick. It's going to trade above average, and I'm getting home again. So, we've got a bit of money, and I'm going to be doing weekly shows, weekly events. We are also being broadcast live on, I think it's local tri-state. So, our events are being broadcast on there, so it should help us gain popularity quite quickly. And doing weekly events will keep our popularity, because otherwise you just keep dropping and you never get anywhere. So I'd sooner lose money each month than not get any money. So in above a decent match of the crowd, subpar wrestling, Jay White defeated Bulk and Chuck Taylor, who will be coming in more permanently. So Chuck Taylor is the special guest on Smash Wrestling, and Bulk is the special guest on WAW. He does work for Fallen Stars as well. But in an elimination match in 7:36, the order elimination was Bulk first, then Chuck Taylor. Bulk was weakness to everyone's performance. Bulk did badass. Bulk's getting better at his gimmick. Jay White's get David's old school gimmick. It's going to be below average. Chuck Taylor's not suited to gimmick, so now it's quality. Lifted the match to Cologom to give the match a boost. Bulk had an in-ring performance of 21. Jay White 30. Chuck Taylor 34. So Chuck Taylor was better than everyone in that match. And Chuck Taylor's improving in Rumble. I'm going to quickly go into my documents. I'm going to quickly click on that, and then I'm going to quickly click here. So you guys cannot see that document. Because I'm a genius and I forgot to open it. But there you go. In a decent match, Matt Sydal defeats Travis Bank in 7:38 by pinfall the Cyclos Rama Slam. Matt Sydal debuts Thrill Seeker gimmick. It's got a run above average. Travis Bank debuts Cocky gimmick. It's got a run of Orville. Matt Sydal 45. Travis Banks 22. No work improvements. This has got a heel and face divide. Just to spoil it for you, but I'm going to tell you who's who. In above had subpar wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, the Whisper defeated Kenny Mack in 8:08 by pinfall using on-handed tactics. Kenny Mack Davies cowboy gimmick. It's going to show above average. The Whisper Davies mysterious gimmick. Got above average. Kenny Mack 31. The Whisper 24. The Whisper improving in Rumble. Mack in performance, which is not too bad. The 29E, one of our worst matches so far. Ooh, this even gets worse. Travis Bank had 2 matches. Okay, something went wrong there. In above had subpar wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. Space Monkey defeated Travis Banks in 9:05 by pinfall the tail whip. Travis Banks 24, Space Monkey 20. David just won Babyface gimmick. I think that might have sucked because Travis Banks had 2 matches, which he was meant to, but we'll ignore it for now. That's fine. In above had table wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. Dr. Cube 3 defeated Tom Falcon in 10:07 by pinfall the scalpel kick. Tom Falcon Davies Combo Hero. Dr. Cube debuted his evil doer gimmick. Above average. Tom Falcon 21. Dr. Cube 15. No work of improvements. Let's hope the main event does better than some of these matches. Here we go. We've got a decent match here. In above had good heat and decent wrestling, Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Maxwell Jacob Fernstein in 11:15, 11:55 by submission to single stretch. Zack Sabre Jr. Davies fan favourite gimmick. Sponsor rate of Orville. Maxwell Jacob Fernstein Davies arrogant heel gimmick, sponsor of Orville. Zack Sabre Jr. 48, Maxwell Jacob 27. He's improving in performance. In the back of that decent match crowd with subpar wrestling, Big Joe defeated Smiley in 14:38, 14:32 by pinfall. Big Joe Dobie's fan own gimmick, sponsor of Poor Psycho, and that's got an average. Big Joe and Smiley have great chemistry in their performance, which is nice. Now it's quality in the colour commentary match boost. Big Joe 28, Smiley 20, no work in Bruce, but 26E. Let's hope Frankie Zone versus Will Ospreay, which is the main event of the night, gets a 47D. That's what we like to see. And above had great heat and decent wrestling. Frankie Zone defeated Will Ospreay in 21 minutes and then 6 seconds by pinfall using on-handed tactics. Will Ospreay Davies full secret gimmick. It's got a shrine above average. Will Ospreay seems game. Will Ospreay's getting better at his gimmick. Frankie Zone Davies ego maniac gimmick. It's got a shrine great. Will Ospreay 41. Frankie 50. No work appearance. The only reason the show set out as it was, I think I messed up, but as you can see now, we've got Big Joe versus Frankie Kazarian. Dr. Cube 3 versus Zack Sabre Jr. The Whisper versus Space Monkey, and Matt Sydal versus Chuck Taylor, which is not actually Chuck Taylor now, it's Jay White. I've got to change that. But yeah, that's the roster as it stands. That's how it's going to stay. The people you saw apart from the extra 2 guests is how it's going to stay for now until we get there. So we'll see you on our first weekly event, which will probably called Fight Club or something. And we'll see you then. Thank you for watching. Oh wait, let's see what rating we got. That's probably a good idea. So we've got a 44D, which is not bad. Quiz-Star popularity, I think. Will Ospreay, Zack Sabre Jr. and Frankie Kazarian deserve to get some praise, and then I'll let you go before we start our weekly shows. Next speech. What else? So yeah, we'll see the next first round matches at the first live weekly event. Thank you for watching. Hello and welcome back to our weekly hour-long special event. We've got 103 people tonight in the Tri-State USA. It's been shown live on the local Tri-State in the late night, but we've got a video here showing Big Joe and Frankie Kazarian. That's the main event. Dr. Q versus Zack Sabre Jr. The Whisper versus Space Monkey. And Matt Sydal versus Jay White. That is your 4 matches for tonight. And the opening one is, of course, the worst one of the 2. In about that decent match on the crowd was subpar wrestling. The Whisper defeated Space Monkey 9:32 by pinfall. In house quality and the core commentary match boost, Space Monkey 24, the Whisper 25. No work improvements. 25E. In a decent match, Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Dr. Cube in 12-17 with submission single stretch. Dr. Cube was really off his game. Now quality in the colour conjugate attributes. Dr. Cube 3-12, Zack Sabre Jr. 46. Dr. Cube improving performance. We'll see how he gets on, but at this rate, he's going to be released quite quickly. And then we just have a nice little tag match in about that. A decent match of the crowd with subpar wrestling. Max Sorrell, Jacob Fernstein, and Travis Banks defeated Tom Falcon and Will Ospreay in 7:47 when Travis Banks defeated Tom Falcon by pin for the airplane slam. Travis Banks 23, Maxwell Jacob Fernstein 29. Ospreay 39 and Falcon at a 23. No work improvements, but a 32E plus, not a bad match. In about that good hitting, decent wrestling, Sydal defeated Jay White in 12:08 by pinfall the Shooting Star Press. Matt Sydal 41, Jay White 36, no work improvements. 39D minus. And then Big Joe taking on Frankie Kazarian. I've put it as the main event because I knew Frankie Kazarian would be able to carry this match. Gets 41D. In a decent match, Frankie Kazarian defeated Big Joe in 15:11 by pinfall the Raven Future. Frankie Kazarian's getting better with his gimmick. And Big Joe 29, Frankie 48. No work improvements. We're going to end that show. We'll get a 39D this time, so not as good as the first one. But hopefully next week with the announcement that we'll be having... Oh, I forgot to take Big Joe out of this. So I've flipped it around on its head so everyone thinks and they knew what way it was going. It's not. So Zack Sabre Jr. will be taking on the Whisper, one-on-one. And Matt Sydal will be taking on Frankie Kazarian. That's going to be a main event. That's going to be semi-main. And then week 2, I think would be the next big event. We'll crown the first champion. We'll see you next week for another edition of Turning Point. Welcome back. It's Turning Point. We are live as always on Tri-State area. We've only got 100 people this time, so I don't think this show did as good as the other show, or it's not good, but we'll see. But yeah, so Frankie Kazarian cuts a backstage promo, and then we open up with an above that decent match crowd, but subpar wrestling. Kenny Mack defeated Dr. Cube. Dr. Cube 15, Kenny Mack 31. Dr. Cube was really off his game, but a 26E, not bad. And then we get a 6-man tag in above that decent match crowd, but subpar wrestling. Mac MJF, Smiley and Travis Banks defeated Falcon, Space Monkey and Big Joe. When Travis Banks defeated Tom Falcon by the airplane slam. Big Joe 29, Space Monkey 24, Falcon 21, Banks 26, Smiley 18, and Makers drag Fernstein in the 37. Smiley improving performance of 30E plus, not bad. In a decent match, Will Ospreay defeated Jay White in 8-5 by pinfall the 360 splash. Will Ospreay 36, Jay White 32, no work improvements. And then we have the next match, which is Zack Sabre Jr. taking on the Whisper, gets a 40D minus. In a decent match, Zack Sabre Jr. defeated the Whisper in 14:54 by submission with a single stretch. Zack Sabre Jr. 48, the Whisper 25, no working with a 40D minus. And then the video plays hyping up Matt Sydal taking on Frankie Kazarian. And in above our good hit and good wrestling, Frankie Kazarian defeated Matt Sydal in 19 minutes 33 by pinfall the Flux Capacitor. Kazarian 51, Sydal 44. So at Broadening Beach, which is our next big event, it will be Frankie Kazarian taking on Zack Sabre Jr. for the Global Force Wrestling Global title, which is what I've bought them to bring them in. And Frankie Kazarian debuted a new spot that got got great heel heat. His psychology will help him being able to use this as a go-to spot in the future. Gets 45D, increases our popularity in one region. We'll see you next week for another edition of Turning Point. Thank you for watching. Hello and welcome back. Turning Point once again. So I'm not going to block angles for this company. I'm just going to get on with it. So we've got Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Frankie Kazarian in like an angle. Them two are going to have back and forth 40D minus. I'm going to continue. And in the belt, we had DC Wrestling Subpar Wrestling. John Frisco de Coronado debuts, defeating Al Ligero in 18-14 by pinfall German suplex. John Frisco debuts old school heel gimmick, got an initial rating of legendary. Al Ligero Mass Luchador, also Al Ligero's gimmick, now quality in the colour commentary match series. John Frisco de Coronado 30, Al Ligero 16. We'll get him up to a decent level. It's probably his popularity more than anything. But yeah, so John Coronado is currently the Chicago Grand Champion, and Al Ligero just thought it'd be nice to have another couple of wrestlers on the roster. In a decent match, Travis Banks defeats Big Joe in 10:39 by pinfall the airplane slam. Big Joe 33, Travis Banks 28, not bad at all. But he did dislocate his wrist, ouch. So I don't know if he'll be here in time for our next show. The Taz was a road agent at night because Mike Quackenbush, who's normally a road agent, has a left as kind right tonight. So in a decent match, Smiley defeated Matt Sydal in 11:24 by pinfall using the ropes for leverage. Matt Sydal 45, Smiley 19, Matt Sydal 7 points, 38D minus. Then we're going to have MJF, Ren Kazarian taking on Ospreay and Sabre Jr. That's the hype video for the main event of the evening. There's a 48D and above that had great heat and decent wrestling. Will Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Maxwell, Jacob Fernstein and Frankie Kazarian in 21:08 when Will Ospreay defeated Frankie Kazarian by pinfall 3-6 for 80 splash. Ross Brace was really off his game. Zack Sabre Jr. to get both gimmicks. Frankie Kazarian 53, Maxwell Jacob Fernstein 38, Zack Sabre Jr. 48, and Will Ospreay 39. Zack Sabre Jr. improving performance. And we end tonight's show with a 44D, increase the popularity in one region. We'll see you next week for the go-home edition of Turning Point. Well, I forgot to move where Turning Point was happening tonight, so we've got 112 people. And the battle had decent reaction from the crowd, but Telber Wrestling, Dr. Cube 2 defeated Space Monkey in 6:29-26 by pinfall the scalpel kick. Dr. Cube 16, Space Monkey 23, no work improvements. In the battle had decent reaction from the crowd, but Subpar Wrestling, Al Ligero defeated the Whisper in 8:28 by pinfall the Fright Mexican Splash. The Whisper 27, Al Ligero 20, no work improvements. And the Whisper's getting better, he's going to 25E. In about that decent wrestling, good heat and decent wrestling, Maxwell Jacob Fernstein defeated Will Ospreay in 7:52 by pinfall with a Swanton Bomb. Maxwell Jacob 34, Will Ospreay 43. Ospreay's improving in performance of 40D minus, not bad. In about that great heat and decent wrestling, Matt Sydal defeated Zack Sabre Jr. 13:32 by pinfall the Psycho Sam. Following interference from Frankie Kazarian, Matt Sydal 42, Zack Sabre Jr. 49, no work improvements of 46D. And then we're going to see Frankie Kazarian take on Jay White in the main event. In about that good heat and decent wrestling, Frankie Kazarian defeated Jay White by pinfall the Flux Capacitor in 18:13. Jay White 28, Frankie Kazarian 47. Jay White is really off his game, but he's getting better at his gimmick. No work improvements. And we end the show tonight with a 40D minus, not bad at all. And we'll see you for the next pay-per-view, but Brawling at the Beach is coming Sunday night. Welcome back, Legion Pro Wrestling live tonight. Jason Santigio and comment announcer for From the Start and for Legion Pro Professional Wrestling, and Tez, and he goes, welcome tonight, Zack Sabre Jr. will take on Frankie Kazarian for the Global Force Wrestling title, and we've got matches galore. And Tez goes, I've been loving my time here, and it's only going to get better. Legion, join us. So we are now a small company, which means I've had to bring in a couple more wrestlers. We were at the deadline mark of 16, but if we get someone injured, that means we're going to be below that, so I always bring 4 over what we should have. So we have 20 wrestlers, and we're also going to be doing a weekly TV show now as well. But in a battle that didn't have much heat, and Telber Wrestling, Tom Falcon defeated the Whisper in 8:28 by pinfall, 25E. Falcon 20, the Whisper 26. Whisper in technical performance. Well done, Whisper. In a poor match, Kenny Mack and Space Monkey defeated John Frisco de Coronado and Dr. Cube. 3 in 8:11 when Space Monkey defeated Dr. Cube 3 by pinfall with a tail whip. 31E plus, the announced quality in the colour of on match boost, Dr. Cube 24, John Frisco de Coronado 35, Space Monkey 23, and Kenny Mack 32. Kenny Mack improving in performance, not bad. In a poor match, Big Joe and defeat Travis Banks in 7:35 by pinfall. Travis Banks was slowed by his injury somewhat, and has quality and the colour commentary the match boost. Travis Banks 28, Big Joe 32. Travis Banks in Rumble and performance not bad at all. And in a bout that had decent match for the crowd, was Subpar Wrestling. Smiley defeated Maxwell Jacob Fernstein in 7:43 by pinfall with a trip to Psycho Land. The announced quality and the colour commentary gave the match a boost. Maxwell Jacob Fernstein 37, Smiley 22. No work for 33 plus. I have got rid of the heel and face divide. In a decent match, Pentarel 0M defeats Phoenix in 14:20 by pinfall the top rope Stars Clash. Pentarel 0M debuted his classic Rudo gimmick in the Train of Awful. Phoenix classic technical gimmick got very good. Announced quality and the colour commentary match a boost. Pentarel 0M 39, Phoenix 32. No work improvements. In a decent match, Will Ospreay defeated Matt Sydal in 10:13 by pinfall 3-6 face splash. Matt Sydal was slowed by his injury. Sydal 39, Ospreay 38. No work improvements, 40 D-. In a poor match, Jay White defeated Alligero in 14:47 by pinfall with a handful of tights. Alligero 27, Jay White 34. No work improvements, 32 E+. And then the video hypes the main event of the night, 48D. In a decent match, Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Frankie Kazarian in 21 minutes 48 by submission on the single stretch. Zack Sabre Jr. is now your Global Force Wrestling Global Champion. Frankie Kazarian 51, Zack Sabre Jr. 62, and he's improving in performance, not bad. And we end the show there, my friends, with 45D. I am going to be giving the show to Zack Sabre Jr., Frankie Kazarian, wherever he is, and I'm also going to give it to Will Ospreay, and they're going to be praised, praised, and praised. We'll see you in the next episode for our first TV show, and much, much more. Thank you for watching the first episode of this local to global. Thank you for watching.